Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Mechabellum video. As we're having a look today on the roadmap that just got released by the devs, as they talk about how amazing the launch went so far, and that it really blew the expectations apart. 90% recommendation on Steam, and so on, all going really well. And so they wanted to give us a bit of intel about what is to come for the game, and it is quite a lot. Already in June, we will get a good bit more, and then they go over July, August, and then further. And yeah, let's go over all of this, and let's have a look here. So first of all, they want to improve the matchmaking process and go into a normal elo system, and that makes sense, as the current combat power really is more of an intel about how much you play instead of how good you play, leading to games where you really don't have that strong of an opponent until you grind the game to no end. And that is, for example, an issue for me. Like, my win rate is really, really high and much higher than most of my opponents because they have the same combat power, but that doesn't mean they have the same amount of thought and effort put into the game as me. They just played it and didn't thought and watched other videos and so on like I did, so they are at a deficit there. And yeah, they want to enable auto delay by default in auto matches and tournaments. That is nice as well. Makes stream sniping harder and so on, which is pretty important. So yeah, liking that. They want to do a couple more balance adjustments as well before the end of June. Always lovely. And they want to add a couple new unit tags, and that is great. That adds variety. That is big here. Plus some quality of life. So the core gameplay mechanics here all being improved. The user experience improved. Fantastic changes here before June. And then July, they're gonna add, for the longevity of the game, with the credit store, where you can buy avatars and buy emotes and skins, avatar frames, I believe. Not sure if avatars are skins or if it's just like your player portraits, but all of this sounds cool. Will just be something to grind for and like diversify yourself from the enemy without being paid to win. And like, nothing of this changes the performance in the game, and that is really important. Third device, between Sentry Missile and Shield Generator, the Missile Interceptor gonna be added. I guess that might perform similar to what you know from the Sentry Turret in Steel Division 2, in StarCraft 2, from the Raven there, or from what we currently already have on the Mustang, where it just shoots down missiles and rockets, and also other Sentry missiles. So that could be interesting. Really looking forward to that. A lot of tactical play there. And then adding fortification upgrades to the core buildings to increase their HP. Interesting choice. Not sure if I like that though. Would like to see more map layouts and so on throwing around the core buildings instead of this. But hey, that's interesting as well. Replay viewing experience will increase, so more UI improvements here. So yeah, more user experience improvements here. That is fantastic. And then add more text and reinforcement cards. So that is lovely. More unit tags are welcome. That's, in my eyes, the best way of diversifying the game and allowing players to really get a unique playstyle without making the game too complex, because it's still the core unit roster. And then more reinforcement cards, nice as well. And then we go into some really deep stuff in August. Like, those might be the biggest changes since the start of early access, as we get a compact 2v2 map, and we get a new unit. And okay, here we got unit skins in the credit store, so I guess avatars are really just your portraits. Here's the answer: unit skins. And yeah, a new super giant unit, which will cost 800, something that they will go over further down below. So that is fantastic. 800, a super wild unit. Let's see how it works out. War Factory, I believe that will get out other units out, maybe shoot a bit itself. Sounds wild. My worry is just, the game doesn't go long enough for 800 point units, does it? Or it must be super OP. So I'm a bit worried about that unit, but it will be interesting to see. Like one extra unit here, not a problem. And then after it, they want to add 4v4 free for all. Super wild, but cool. Yes, a couple more game modes could be really fun. Can really help out the longevity of the game, and everything that does that is good. And then they want to add 2 more core units, another air unit. And yeah, the air roster is a bit small at the moment, so that is a good thing. And then the Scorpion on the land, and the Wraith in the air. Both names still temporary. Let's see. And then I want to check out a couple of experimental units, but don't you worry, they don't get added into the base game yet. They're gonna add them to the survival mode, which they want to increase upon to make some single player content happening, and some co-op potentially happening. I mean, StarCraft 2, super popular in co-op. If you can create a similar thing here with survival mode, that would be huge. If you can rival StarCraft 2 there a bit in the co-op mode, obviously you don't quite have the storyline and so on that really helps selling those commanders in StarCraft 2, but the survival mode, if that can get a new players, that would be fantastic. And yeah, those 4 to 6 units are scary a bit though, because I think with 3 more units, the unit roster will be at the maximum what a new player can learn. Like having a super giant unit, that's another easy thing to learn. That's just that one really big step up. And then 2 more land units to enhance the rosters at the beginning, I think are kind of needed and also kind of cool. But then outside of that, I just want to see more abilities, more unit tags that you maybe even rotate through over seasons. Like for example, give Fangs CQC combat ability and so on, like they get swords or stuff like that, instead of more units, because more units just make it a really big burden to learn the game. Like the learning curve will be getting steeper and steeper, which will hurt them in the long run, I believe. So I hope they don't go into too many units. Yeah. Outside of that, they answer a couple of questions down here about improvements of matchmaking, where they also talk about what I was talking about. Like, you don't really face people who have the same level of skill, because you only face people who have the same amount of hours in the game, basically, but not how much more thought they against people who have put as much thought as you outside of the game into it. So that is really good that they improve the matchmaking experience, will help out a lot. Sentry missiles and so on, yeah, they talk about the economy, and that sentry missiles and other one-time abilities have to be powerful, so that one player can try to rush, whilst the other tries to go for a late game, which is nice. And yeah, I don't think sentry missiles are too powerful at all. Nukes, yeah, they talk about why they moved it into into a card, because it's more predictable now. You know when the enemy gets the nukes, you can react to it if they get the nuke, and yeah, they wanted to test out things there. And yeah, weaker players struggle with nukes, so yeah, it's a good thing. I believe it's a card now. And then they also talk about new units, and yeah, beyond all this, we try to introduce non-mech units in the future when we have the time and capacity to design and test them fully. So yeah, all of this will be interesting. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. As I said, I hope they don't add too many units, but outside of that, this looks fantastic. Like, first of all, if they really can stay in this time frame, if they can really put that out in summer, that is a really tight schedule. I hope they can. That would be amazing. I hope they don't fall behind this. But even if it all comes out, like if this here that they promised till the end of August, if this comes out until the end of September, it still would be amazing. And it still would be enough in my eyes to keep the game fresh over for the long run. So really hyped for all of this, and I hope you are as well. And if you want to come in for a bit of a tournament, we have just the thing for you this weekend. The first SDL Mechabellum tournament. $150 on the prize pool already. So yeah, hope to see you all there. You can still sign up. A couple of spaces are still open. We have the world rank number 1 in there at the moment. If you want to have a chance beating world rank number 1, if you think you have it in yourself, sign up. Or if you just want to see how badly you will be beaten by him, you can get in as well. Everybody above 100 elo is welcome, above 1000 combat power. So yeah, hope to see you all there. Bye bye, and have a great day.